into Jags A.M. It's week 16. I'm Kainani Stevens, and Brian and John are with me here today as well. We're going to talk a little bit about this game in Las Vegas that's coming up as the Jaguars get ready for their final 3 games of the season. So let's start out with big thing number 1, which is time. There are 3 remaining games in this regular season, and because there's no playoff contention for this team, it is time to focus on the younger players.
From a coaching perspective, gives you an idea of the type of player that you drafted, you brought onto your team. And then for the player, it gives him confidence going into, the offseason. I look back to what Buster did his rookie year and then the chances he got to play early on, how that catapulted him into this season. And so that's a great example, right? And then even looking ahead, like the confidence that you see in Tank and the confidence you see in Brenton, and Anton's been a day 1 starter, but the young players that have played, Antonio Johnson playing more this year, and the more, or the better, I should say, that they play in these last couple of games will give them the confidence, I think, moving forward.
Brian, we've been talking a lot about this, and now we're actually seeing it come to fruition. And any of those names stick out to you?
Yeah, a lot of them do. The one, though, that he mentioned later in the interview was Trey Prince, and here's why that's important, right? Prince came in as a guy from Ole Miss. He's got all the traits. He's got height, he's got length, he's got speed, he's got an attitude too. He's still pissed off that he was drafted in the 5th round. But he's a guy that's got the traits that can be a player for you. You want to find out what he's got, because when you go into the draft process next year, do you know if he is a guy that you can count on? Do you think he's a guy you can count on, or do you not know anything about him? Well, you'd like to have some idea, because at the top of the draft next year are a couple of cornerbacks that you might be interested in. So knowing exactly what you've got is critically important at this time of year. So listen, Ronald Darby, 10-year veteran, helps you win games. Not important right now. I got to see Trey Prince. I've got to know if he's a guy who can go forward. I kind of know what Monteric Brown is. Christian Braswell's another guy. I'm just using the cornerback position because I know it's one that people are focused on as an area the Jaguars got to get better, John.
Yeah, you'd like to see a little bit of Jefferson and Prince. Javon Foster is tempting, but it's awfully hard just to throw an offensive lineman in there if they're not ready, because there's so much cohesion, and you don't want to have the offense not be functional because of one guy. Look, there's all the draft position versus winning and what matters and all that, but to me, if in these last 3 games, and really take it for the last 5, if they win a few and they screw up their draft position, forget the draft position for a second. If they win a few and you love what Prince did, or you love what Mason Smith did, and those guys feel like they're standing in the locker room and saying, I mattered in this one, I'm part of this, I feel confident going forward. If you have 9 or 10 young guys who get that feeling of we lifted it, then I think the draft position, losing it is okay. I'm not going to pick on Ronald Darby, but if Ronald Darby's standing in the end zone with a pick 6 and they won the game because of that, and he's not here next year, then you sort of wonder, was it worth it?
Sure. Let's go to our second big thing, which is spark. We've talked a lot about Mac Jones and the energy he brings to the field, but he also hopes that it's spreading to his teammates as well.
I think we've had some good results here in terms of moving the ball and like you said, having fun, guys making plays, and really not letting one play turn into a snowball effect. Does that make sense? So just kind of playing each play one play at a time and keeping it loose, whether we did something good on the first series or something bad. So you got to play each play, like I say always, and I think it definitely carries over to them. I think that fits the personalities in the room, myself included, and the coaches. It's not been the best season so far, but we're also still striving for perfection and keeping it fun and loose and trying to win.
John, we talk a lot about the Mac Jones experience. Some mistakes will be made, but the energy is always there and it's always entertaining.
Yeah, after the game the other day, the loss to the Jets, I walked into the house and my wife had watched the game and she said, that Mac Jones is cocky.
There we go.
And she said, but I kind of wanted him to win.
Yep.
So I think that's sort of the Mac Jones experience in a nutshell. Yeah, he's cocky and he does some weird stuff with the hand stuff. But he cares about it and he's going after it, and you get the idea of a guy who's having fun playing. So it's all mixed up into one.
Well, and it helps, listen, it helps with some energy in the room, right? I mean, you've got 3 games left, and you're not playing for the playoffs whatsoever, and you need that spark. It can come from a lot of different places. You hope it comes from within. But more importantly, when you've got a quarterback, Kai, that can function, right? I mean, you look at the situation with the Raiders right now. I mean, they are down to Desmond Ridder, and they could have Carter Bradley, maybe Aiden O'Connell, but I mean, they don't have a quarterback that can go out and function at a high level, which is why they've lost 10 games in a row. Now, I'm not going to suggest to you that Mac Jones is all of a sudden going to go out and throw for 300 yards, completing 70% of his passes. And he hasn't necessarily performed at a super high level, but he's playing better, and that gives this offense a chance to function better and perhaps get a win and some valuable time with these young players having success. Who out there doesn't want to see Brian Thomas Jr. catch more passes for more yards and more touchdowns? Mac Jones gives you a chance to do that. And the fact that he brings that energy, that spark, that fun, well, good for us.
Absolutely. Definitely good for us. Our final big thing is going to be ball. We do want people that love to play football. And I think Brenton Strange is a perfect example of that. We saw him in his best game, career game so far. Without Evan Engram out there, he's been getting a lot of the targets. And just his mentality is good for the team.
If the players don't have that mindset, or if I don't have that mindset, it's going to set you back even further. But if you come into it and you embrace it, all right, we know our situation. We got it. We understand that. But I think these next 3 weeks really can set us up for the future, for the offseason, for next year and how we can build and where we need to add pieces and all that kind of stuff, the development of our roster. But having guys like Brenton make those comments, I mean, those are the type of players you want, right? You want those football players that love being here in this building, soaking up football, soaking up ball, love being on the grass. Those are the guys that you can build your team around, and he's one of several, obviously, and many that we have on the team that can do that.
Ryan Brenton, after the game, said he loves football and he doesn't need to find motivation to play in a season where they don't have playoff contention because he loves to play ball.
I loved it.
That's the perfect answer.
No, I loved it. And the question had been asked of a lot of people. I hadn't heard the answer. And then Doug said he had plenty of guys in that locker room who expressed that. And I guess it makes sense that the Jaguars have kept playing, they've kept fighting, you haven't seen quit in them. He must. And so I was working the locker room yesterday, and I did find guys that expressed it. Some of them on camera, on microphone, some of them off. Trayvon Walker was one who just point blank said, look, we should all come in the building every day as if it's the first day of the season, our first day on the job, because in the NFL, which is not a very long career, you better make the most of every moment. So I did go looking this week and found plenty of guys in the locker room who expressed the sentiment. And John, to me, that's really important because we talk about culture, and it's sort of a word that you can, mold to mean whatever you want. But you got to have a locker room full of guys that play because they love the game and because they're professionals.
Yeah, I think for the most part they do. I think it's tough this time of year because you're probably playing against a team of other people who love ball. So there's a little bit of a, are you trying 98% or is it 100% every day? Do I love it? Am I passionate for it? And I think that can be the difference this time of year because it's tough to find that hunger when you're 3-11. But I do think there are guys in this locker room who have it, and I think the last few weeks will be more chance for the decision makers to make sure they have guys who have it enough.
And for all of those young guys that we mentioned, Kai, off the top, to see what a professional football season can be like when it doesn't go well, and to learn and to understand and to actually execute despite the record. It's Sunday, I'm a pro, I come and play. That's why the last 3 weeks are so critically important for this football team.
All right, stay with us here on Jags A.M. We're going to talk a little bit about the Raiders and what that matchup's going to look like on Sunday.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Calling all junior fire chiefs. Parents, register for your child to win the ultimate Jaguars game day experience. Sponsored by Firehouse Subs, cheering on the Jags from the Firehouse Subs fire truck at Everbank Stadium, flashing the fire truck lights when the Jags score. As honorary junior fire chief of the game, your child will receive a Firehouse Subs gift, and the whole family will receive 4 tickets and a parking pass to a home game this season. Visit jaguars.com/sweepstakes to enter to win today. See website for terms and conditions.
Sudduth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudduth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudduth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudduth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jax. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudduth is helping you on moving day. Visit sudduth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
A quality replacement window made with Fiberx material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Anderson. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Anderson handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Football is back. Celebrate with a gay Duval meal deal. Score 2 Roller Grill favorites and a 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.50. That means you can choose any 2 to pair with your Coke. 2 hot dogs, 2 tornadoes, 2 roller bites, or mix and match. Whether you're stopping for a quick snack or tailgating with friends, this is a victory for every Jags fan. Deal happening now through January 2nd, 2025. Stop by to purchase in store.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Welcome back to Jags A.M., brought to you by Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. You can head over to fieldsauto.com to check it out.
Great player, good young player. Just his ability to separate, get open, obviously, using him the right way. And just making plays for him, and he's a dynamic tight end.
We have a dynamic rookie on our team in Brian Thomas Jr., and now we have a dynamic, I would say, a dynamic tight end to be dealing with as well. So when you look at that, Brian, what is something you've seen from Brock Bowers that's impressive?
No, I mean, just his catch radius. I mean, it doesn't seem to matter where the ball is delivered. And I don't know that he's got freakishly long arms. He's just one of those guys who, it feels like the ball is connected to him, John, when you watch him play. Of course, I saw him plenty when he was at Georgia, and I wasn't quite sure how that was going to translate. Well, it looks like he might be first-team All-Pro. He's the best tight end in the game by numbers this year.
Yeah, he strikes me a little like when Justin was here, Justin Blackman, that when the ball was in the air, he just caught it, and he had better hands, and he was more powerful than other people. Brock looks like that. I'm with you. In watching him at Georgia, I'm always a little hesitant when I see a player in college who dominates physically, because you think, can he dominate physically against grown men as compared to sometimes you're playing boys? But boy, see how I did that?
It's called a transition, and it was very well executed.
He's really impressive, and he looks like a tight end is a position where there's usually a guy in the league for a stretch. And it looks like he's going to be the guy after Kelsey.
I asked Richard,
different kind of player than Kelsey,
right,
but he'll be the guy.
I talked to the Jags tight ends coach, Richard Angulo, yesterday, Kai, and was just asking him about Bowers, and he gave me a good answer, and then he looked at me like, did you not expect that? I mean, the people that evaluated tight ends were just so enamored with him coming out, and all of them were stunned to see him slide, because he's a tight end and not a wide receiver, but he's one of those guys that should have been taken much higher.
And we talk about what.
Well, we also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to say, we're talking about what these guys are doing on bad teams as well. The Raiders barely have a quarterback to throw to him, and he's still with 968 yards so far this year.
Yeah, Bowers is a little bit of a cautionary tale because, and what I mean by that is at the Combine last year, he didn't have a great workout, if he even worked out, but there were questions. Is he a little heavy? Is he perfect specimen coming in? And sometimes when those little things start going on at the Combine, you forget that the guy can just play, right? So, I mean, that is another one where, remember Tom Brady's workout picture?
Yeah.
Well, they put that in the Hall of Fame. So maybe doing it with this kid too.
If they have any hope of having success offensively, obviously Bowers has to be involved. Don't forget, they took Michael Mayer, the Notre Dame tight end, the year before in the second round, and he's a very talented kid. So they've got two guys out there that can really move in the middle of the field. Jaguars, Devin Lloyd, that crew better have their heads on straight because those two tight ends can turn you inside out.
We're always fine against tight ends.
Yeah, we do really well against tight ends historically, so I'm sure that'll be just fine. Let's talk a little bit about this offense. Obviously, we're watching it right now, but head coach of the Raiders, Antonio Pierce, said he feels Aiden O'Connell's trending up, so likely a game-time decision, but he looks like he could play this weekend. Not sure it necessarily matters. Obviously, Desmond Ridder got the start against the Falcons on Monday Night Football, and that was not very pretty. So does it matter who plays, or are we just trying to?
It matters a little because they're different kinds of players. Ritter's going to run a little more. O'Connell's more in the pocket. In talking to Vic Tafur with The Athletic, that covers the Raiders, he said, look, they started off the season with wanting to run, wanting to throw play action. And he said that was an awesome idea when they had Devontae Adams. Yeah. So O'Connell's going to be in the pocket, and Vic thinks he'll play. He's going to be in the pocket. They're going to know where he is. He's not mobile. So it's a dramatically different kind of game they're going to play with O'Connell than it would be Ridder.
Curious who we will get out there. It'll be interesting, certainly. Stay with us here. We're going to give you our predictions for tomorrow's headlines today, coming up after the break.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinder's home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinder's home. Visit dfhsalesevent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's dfhsalesevent.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Football is back. Celebrate with a gay Duval meal deal. Score 2 roller grill favorites and a 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.50. That means you can choose any 2 to pair with your Coke. 2 hot dogs, 2 tornadoes, 2 roller bites, or mix and match. Whether you're stopping for a quick snack or tailgating with friends, this is a victory for every Jags fan. Deal happening now through January 2nd, 2025. Stop by to purchase in store.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Andersen. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudeth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudeth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
For the past 100 years, Sudeth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jags. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudeth is helping you on moving day. Visit Sudeth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Jags A.M. brought to you by Sudeth, Florida's trusted and reliable moving company. Sudeth is proud to be the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. To get a guaranteed quote, visit Sudeth.com/Jags. Welcome back into Jags A.M. We're going to do our best at predicting what the headlines are going to be on Monday after this riveting Jaguars-Raiders game in Las Vegas this weekend. At least we'll have a nice backdrop. I'm very excited to see Allegiant Stadium. So what do you predict the headlines are going to be, Brian?
Well, listen, it has not been a very fun season, but Mac Jones has sort of been the theme this week. You know, he had fun last week.
He's
so
fun.
I say fun in Vegas.
Fun.
Who doesn't have fun in Vegas? And I think Mac Jones is the differentiator. I think he'll be able to execute the offense. We saw last week 25 points, an opening drive touchdown, the kind of things that we didn't think would be storylines when the season started. But some offense, and obviously Brian Thomas Jr. just exploding last week. So I think the Jags go out, and there aren't many teams that you'd say, well, they're going to win on the road. Not a team that's only won 3 games all year, but they've only won 2 and they've lost 10 in a row. So I say the fun thing comes through with Mac Jones, and the Jags have a nice flight home.
I'll tell you, he's not going to have fun in Vegas, any of us, because the league rules say you can't go in the casino.
Yeah.
So, I've never been to Vegas.
Celine Dion not on stage?
And I've never been to Vegas, and apparently I won't even go this week because you can't go to the casino,
Count,
which I'm fine with. I went a different direction, and I don't even know if I believe my headline, but I was trying to figure out a way to do what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So I say what happened in Vegas needs to stay in Vegas. And I don't know if I believe it, but I think there's a chance that the Jags could go out there. It's almost a West Coast trip. It's late in the season. We've all seen sort of some of the things that happen West Coast with this team historically. I don't necessarily believe that translates, but you could see a game where the West Coast trip, playoff ramifications, I think they get blown out, but they're flying back and saying, we should have won that one, and it just didn't happen. Again, the headline really is more because I couldn't think of anything else other than what happens in Vegas is something.
Historically speaking, the Jaguars had only ever beaten the Raiders on the West Coast. They never won in Seattle. They never won in San Francisco. They had never won in San Diego. And then in 2022, they went out and beat the Chargers. Okay. So the only team that they've really had sustained success against on the West Coast is the Raiders. But I agree with John. It could go either way when you got these two teams.
I think so too. I'm going to err with positivity and go with the Jaguars, but I said jackpot because I feel like both of these teams had the jackpot with their picks in the draft this year. Obviously, Raiders very happy with Brock Bowers. We were very happy with Brian Thomas Jr., especially after the last game with his 2 touchdowns and breaking those rookie records. Next is to come. I think there's one more rookie record, and then there's 1,000 yards receiving, and hopefully we'll see as high as we can go in these last 3 weeks, and hopefully they've cracked the formula to getting the football.
Well, I believe he's tied with for the number of catches. I think he just needs one more catch to break that and own that one, which done deal.
Yeah, and even beyond the records, because the Jaguars' rookie record, it wasn't exactly Babe Ruth's 714. No. So
it wasn't Randy Moss in '98.
But where he's going to wind up, it looks like he could wind up with 1,150, 1,200 yards and 10 or 11 touchdowns. That's a really good NFL rookie wide receiver season. And it shows you he's not going to sneak over 1,000 yards. He's got a chance to have a good number, and he's going to be really, really good.
Listen, 10 or 11 touchdowns would either tie or break the franchise record for most touchdowns by a receiver in a season. So that hasn't happened very often.
Record books are calling. We'll see what happens. Enjoy the game this weekend. If you're going to Vegas, enjoy the trip, and we'll be back on Tuesday to talk a little bit about what went down.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Calling all junior fire chiefs. Parents, register for your child to win the ultimate Jaguars game day experience. Sponsored by Firehouse Subs, cheering on the Jags from the Firehouse Subs fire truck at Everbank Stadium, flashing the fire truck lights when the Jags score. As honorary junior fire chief of the game, your child will receive a Firehouse Subs gift, and the whole family will receive 4 tickets and a parking pass to a home game this season. Visit jaguars.com/sweepstakes to enter to win today. See website for terms and conditions.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with Everbank. Open an Everbank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. Everbank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 177, has been powering Jacksonville since 1912. Powering where we compete, where we're entertained, our bridges and highways, and where we live and work. IBEW 177 has been powering Jacksonville for more than a century and will continue long into the future. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 177, is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jags fans, are you ready to upgrade your living space? Enter for a chance to win the ultimate furniture giveaway. You could enhance your home with a new sectional, queen mattress, or queen bedroom set, courtesy of Furniture Source. One lucky fan will receive new furniture after every Jaguars home game this season. Don't miss out. Enter today by visiting jaguars.com/sweepstakes. Jaguars.com/sweepstakes. Selections will vary by game.
Jaguars brought to you by Dream Seats. Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. Zipchair is furniture for fans. Welcome back. Before we leave, because I forgot how many blocks of the show we were doing today, we do want to talk a little bit about a special moment for one of our Jaguars legends, Brian.
Yeah, Rasheed Mathis was honored by being named to the 2025 class for the Black College Football Hall of Fame, which I guess is going to have a wing in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. I was texting with him last night, and he's the same great guy that he was when he showed up here as a rookie in 2003. Englewood High product, who came in as a safety and they moved him to corner, and he turned out, John, and I know you were in Indy for most of his career, but turned out to be just a great football player. Finished with 32 interceptions, right? And he had 9 forced fumbles. You saw that one right there. 5 takeaways in fumbles recovered. So he has 37 career takeaways, and he had so many big ones against Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers, including this one in a postseason game that gave the Jaguars an early lead that they never relinquished. Rasheed Mathis is truly a great cornerback for the Jaguars, damn good football player, and a really good person. I want to follow up with this and tell you, how many people run into Rasheed and tell me that he's their kid's baseball coach, and what a great coach he is. Rasheed Mathis, a local kid made good and honored by the Black College Football Hall of Fame, couldn't come for a better person than Rasheem.
Yeah, I think I covered Rasheem 2 years when I got back in 11 and 12. I forget what year he left.
He left in 13.
But he's one of the guys from that era that I remember thinking, boy, I wish I'd been around him longer, because he was a great player, and I really enjoyed being around him. And congratulations to him, class act.
Made lots of big plays at key moments, and Jaguars fans remember that. Was named to the Pro Bowl and he was named All-Pro 1 year and went to the Pro Bowl twice. Should have been more, but he didn't play on a lot of great teams. But a really, really, really good football player.
Very well deserved, and we're glad to hear it.
Congratulations to Rasheem and his family.
Absolutely. All right, now we are leaving. We hope you enjoy the game this weekend. Enjoy Vegas if you're going, and we will be back next week to talk about it.